"Have you considered," said Señor Sorolla to the world, "why you have such artists as Sargent, Chase, and the late Whistler? It is because the real founder of American art was that supreme impressionist master Velasquez. If ever a painter wrought a miracle of illusion with brush and pigment, that painter was Velasquez in his Las Meninas at the Prado in Madrid. Now I have studied this picture with a lens, and what do I find? Why, that Velasquez got that marvellous atmospheric background by one broad sweep of his flowing brush, charged with thin colour, so thin that you can feel the very texture of the canvas through it. It is by that same ecstatic swiftness of execution which was the secret of Velasquez's splendid triumphs of realism. As for myself, I can assure you this lyrical impetuosity came to me as naturally as breathing or the beatings of my heart at the earliest dawn of my sympathy with nature. Nature, the sun itself, produces colour effects on this same principle, but instantaneously. The impression of these evanescent visions is what we make desperate attempts to catch and fix by any means at hand. At such moments I am unconscious of materials, of style, of rules, of everything that intervenes between my perception and the object or idea perceived. No, mes amis, Impressionism is not charlatanry, nor a formula, nor a school. I should say rather it is the bold resolve to throw all those things overboard. In a review of Sorolla's works shown in 1909 in New York, we have the following critique. To this dull art season has suddenly come a sensation in the exhibition opened this week at the Hispanic Museum of the works of the modern Spanish master, Joaquin Sorolla y Bastida. While some few American art lovers and students of contemporary art movements in Europe have known of the amazing power, colour quality, and dramatic strength of Sorolla's canvases, few even of these have seen more than some scattered examples of his work, while the American art public was not prepared for what is a virtual revelation in this display. There is every evidence that the New York public, never indifferent to really great music, art, or literature, will respond enthusiastically to the Hispanic Society's splendid enterprise in presenting to it the work of so great a modern master. It is only to be regretted that after its close here, the exhibition cannot be repeated in the larger cities of the country. The exhibition comprised 356 paintings, 195 of which were sold. Sorolla spent 5 months in America and painted more than 20 portraits. It is difficult to restrain a possible exuberance of expression or to qualify one's admiration in attempting to describe the art of Sorolla. There are those who do not hesitate to place him very close to his early predecessor, the great master Velasquez, and who say that, except in portraiture, he excels his other great predecessor Goya, but no artist or art lover, be he tonalist, impressionist, realist, or romanticist, can fail to be at least amazed by the marvellous vitality and simplicity of the art of Sorolla. He is essentially, to give him his definite place, a colourist, and he is also a great draftsman and the most successful painter of sunlight, atmosphere, and air that possibly the world has ever seen, and his work is truthful in drawing, in action, and in every detail. While as a rule Sorolla paints the joyousness of life, the summer and the sun, he can be sad and tragic too, and in this very versatility he evinces his deep sympathy with humanity in its sufferings, as well as in its joys. One of the most moving pictures in the world, certainly one of the most impressive of modern masterpieces of art, is The Sad Inheritance, that canvas previously owned by the Church of the Ascension in New York depicts a group of naked, laughing urchins sporting in the surf on the Valencia beach, while in the foreground 4 little cripples, also nude and desirous of a bath, are prevented by their infirmities from joining their fellows. One poor boy, supported by crutches, bows his head and weeps, while a kindly young priest in attendance lays his hand sadly and in sorrowing sympathy on his head. This work, says Sorolla, I could not do again. What inference respecting the popular taste in art is to be drawn from the extraordinary success of the exhibition of Señor Sorolla's paintings in this city during the past month? They have easily been the art sensation of the year. The works of this one Spaniard have thrown the show of contemporary German art into a complete eclipse. It is stated that 150,000 visitors have gone to the remote Hispanic Museum to bathe in Sorolla's sunlight. To conclude that they were all discriminating lovers of art would be foolish. A fashion set in such things easily draws along many thoughtless folks. But we know that genuine artists have gone again and again with renewed delight, and that really intelligent amateurs of art have leavened the crowds. Admitting the power of novelty in Sorolla's name and method, we yet are bound to see in his marked triumph evidence of a capacity in the people to appreciate and to be moved by high art. This new Spanish conquest of America simply proves once more that artistic genius has the world at its feet. In prior years, the essentially national art of Spain seemed well-nigh extinct. Basing their work upon the cold pseudo-classicism of Jacques-Louis David, there had grown up in the peninsula a group of men who quite dominated Spanish art, and who devoted their considerable talents to the painting of huge historical illustrations. In the work of Federico Madrazo and of his innumerable pupils, we but occasionally find traces of that unwavering naturalism which has been characteristic of Spanish art in its greatest epochs. Nor did the comet-like Fortuny, with his horde of imitators and followers, serve to revive the historical school of Spain. Endowed with amazing natural gifts, Fortuny chose to forsake his own country and the subjects of his country, and gave us a series of works more French than Spanish, and which, though astounding in their technical achievement and glittering beauty, are not free from the reproach of insincerity and commercialism. From this chaos of French influence there has recently emerged a group of artists of extraordinary power, who, absolutely Spanish in style, have revived the art of their fatherland and are forcing it to that position of eminence which it held in past centuries. Joaquin Sorolla y Bastida, Ignacio Zuloaga, Gonzalo Bilbao, and Hernán Anglada are the leaders of this movement. The intensely national character of his work, his extraordinary technical attainments, the catholicity of his choice of subject, and the volume of his output has given Sorolla an undisputed position as the chief of this strong group of vigorous painters. For over 10 years he has exerted a dominating influence over Spanish art. Sorolla's strength is the strength of the people. Born of humble parents in Valencia, Spain, when finally, in 1892, he exhibited his first representative picture, Another Marguerite. His success was immediate, and found himself at once among the front ranks of Spanish masters. It can be said Sorolla's autobiography is vividly inscribed in paint.